Hello, welcome to the broadcast. I guess we can call this the "And Then Things Got Worse Again" podcast because it's Saturday, 21st of March, the first day of spring in Ontario. No, that really looks like spring in southern Ontario. But we're starting to see things going from bad to worse again, once more time, in the Gulf. To wit, last night, what happened? Well, we wake up this morning to our local doom scroll where we see that the Iranians have, surprise, well, not really, been able to actually target and strike Diego Garcia, 4,200 kilometers away from Iran, with ballistic missiles that the Americans, some of them were intercepted, some of them weren't. Hypersonic kill vehicles that can come in and maneuver en route that are designed to take out the THAAD systems or to defeat the THAAD systems and actually hit their targets. And apparently they were very accurate. So now Great Britain has got some issues because not only is Diego Garcia British territory that they are kind of dubious about the Americans using as the B-1 and B-2 bomber bases for some of the strikes into the Middle East. This also means that their territory has been struck. And this also means that London is in the range of the Iranian ordnance. Iran is fighting a war of thought and pose and deliberate purpose, whether you like them or hate them. And I'm not saying I care much about the Iranian government. I will say this: you have to respect them for the way that they're fighting this war and the way that they're using their weapon systems. The Americans are flailing. The Iranians have absolutely gamed their system, have figured out how to ensure that they can defeat the American air defenses and land hits on them at a very ridiculously cheap cost. What I'm seeing coming out of the Gulf now are estimates based on the shocked reports from Ukrainian officers and teams who have been going down there to help train the Americans on how to fight drone war. Is their absolute shock that the Americans are using several $5 million interceptors to take out a $20,000 Shahed drone. This is not a well thought out war. War is always unpredictable. Anytime you engage in war, things go sideways right off the bat. No planning survives first contact with the enemy, is what we used to say. That is absolutely true. For the United States and Israel, this means that they went into this war not with a plan, with some ideas and some options and opinions about what they were going to do. They never took the time to listen to the people in their chain of command who are telling them, gee, boss, this is a really bad idea for reasons A, B, C, D, E, F through Z. What are we going to see happening next? Okay. Iran has demonstrated that they have the capability of complete IRBM regional dominance. The United States and Israel are isolated. The United States in panic, as we saw last night with Trump's missive to the world that, holy crap, if NATO doesn't get it off its butt and help us solve the Strait of Hormuz problem that we don't need any help with, well, we're not going to like you, and we might go back and take out Greenland again. This is coming days after it's leaked out that the United States attempt to take over Greenland was met so hard by NATO allies that Denmark, Canada, and other countries in NATO were actually preparing hard live rounds and battle rattle in order to resist an actual aggressive assault on Greenland. So now the United States is again it's a mafia boss saying, yeah, you don't help us, maybe we'll come back after your family. That's not going to play well. That reeks of panic, lack of planning, and it staggers me that the Americans and the Israelis were absolutely so overwhelmingly, recklessly, overconfident that they could just wander into Iran, bomb the crap out of things, and get their way. Like we're having a situation now where the world is being led by nuclear powers being led by toddlers. This is highly bad for the world. Another nuclear plant was targeted. Apparently, there has not been a radiation leak. That's in Iran. I think that was in the Israeli sector of operations. They have the north. The Americans have the south. So, what is going to happen next? The Americans and the Israelis have put their fingers into a trap. It's like those little finger puzzle things, the wrappers that you put your finger in and you pull it out and it just tightens down. That's essentially where they're at, because there's no reason why Iran would want to stop them from keeping this up as long as they can. Iran is absolutely winning this war, whether you like them or not, whether you care about their politics or not. They certainly have a concept of operations that they're implementing, and they have anticipated a lot of the actions that the Americans and the Israelis are doing towards them. They are taking a lot of damage. Many, many thousands of people are being killed, including a whole pile of children. There's no reason for this. This war should never have started in the first place. Now we're seeing a conflation, I guess, or like they're trying to conflate the notion of NATO, which is a North Atlantic Treaty Organization, which is a defensive organization between like-minded nations to resist any sort of aggression towards them, as being a reason to get all these countries that have absolutely no reason to be involved in this, who the Americans are actually targeting and we are loading rounds to defend against. But the Americans still seem to think that they have the street credibility to call in their favors again. I don't know. Saturday is going to be interesting. Next week's going to suck. Oil is well over $100 a barrel average now. The spot market this morning was looking at, I saw some numbers are looking at 165 trending north. One-fifth of the global LNG supply, which is, if you're paying attention to the high-tech sector, is means that South Korea and Taiwan and the places that require LNG in order to power their AI chip processing systems are now going to run out. That means that everything in that production line is going to be destroyed. So they have to start over from scratch, assuming they can get back to reasonable energy supply from a region where they're saying in Kuwait and in Qatar that the LNG is going to take approximately 6 months to maybe even as far as 3 years to rebuild a fifth of the global production. We're seeing an energy shock globally that nobody has ever experienced before. This is unprecedented. It is incredibly destabilizing and is incredibly dangerous. We are only the first part of this debacle that the world is having to deal with, that these people have like monkeys with a typewriter and cigarettes or whatever have thrown us all into. The oil supply, the energy supply, the shock to the global ecosystem, or the global economic ecosystem, is going to be horrendous. This is going to set back anything we do. This is going to change the way that nations relate to each other. We are seeing an incredibly pointless destabilization of what was left of the global order that, of course, the United States were doing their best to get away from. This is when American exceptionalism, runs into friggin' reality. This is where we see the rubber hitting the road, where the consequences of their actions is meeting our problems. This is now a global crisis. It's only going to get worse. This war in the Gulf will, because of the energy issues and because of the shocks and the geopolitical destabilization that it does, is going to shock and change the world. I have no idea how this is going to play out. But I look at these strikes on reactors. I look at the American approach. I look at the bullying. I look at the absolute stunning lack of common sense in the halls of the people who've got all the biggest military toys that are able to break things. And I am concerned. You can do a lot of things with a military force, but its primary purpose is to break things. You don't build a country by breaking things. You cannot create democracy by killing 200 frigging kids in a school and expect everybody to just give you a mulligan on that and walk away from it. These are crippling strikes that the United States is launching without any understanding of what they are doing at Israel's behest, because Israel and the United States are locked together in this like Siamese twins. I do not see a good way out of this. If things go south for Israel, they always have the synapse option, and I am very confident that they are absolutely happy with doing that. Looking at the American military statements about things like, well, we're going over there to ensure that Jesus returns to the earth and Armageddon happens, etc., etc., etc. That sort of end of days mantra that is going through the American military, that friggin' terrifies me. When people are talking like that, they have lost all aspects of reason. If you think Trump is going to slow that roll, well, we know where that's going. Anyways, enough about that from me. I'm going down to Tyendinaga to visit some friends and maybe see my kids today. And I'm hoping to get back to Lakefield tomorrow to get back to work. Thank you very much to everybody who has been helping me with sage advice about how to actually do video editing, because I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just a guy with some ideas. I have no friggin' idea what I'm doing online, but I'm doing my best. And I will just keep putting out missives into the universe, and we'll see what happens. But anyways, if you like my content, or my opinion anyways, because that's all it is, really, opinion, please share, subscribe, do what you can, share the message. We're all in this together. We're going to get through this. I don't think we're going to see a nuclear war out of this anytime soon, but that is still on the bingo card. So keep your eyes open and keep your head up, stick down, and watch your arcs. Anyways, from the Borg bunker, Hugh Borg out.